In 1982, Kodak employed more people in Rochester than any company in America outside Detroit. For most of the 20th century, Kodak didn't just sell film, it owned the backbone of photography itself, saturating entire cities with jobs and dictating how color was captured worldwide. Its collapse erased not just a business, but an entire industrial system. How does an empire that embedded itself so deeply simply vanish? A single dollar put a brownie camera into the hands of millions. Kodak's promise, photography for everyone, wasn't just a slogan, it was a business model that rewired an entire city. In Rochester, New York, Kodak's payroll reached 60,400 at its peak, with another 120,000 jobs worldwide. The company's factories sprawled across hundreds of acres, their smokestacks rising above neighborhoods built for workers who depended on the next shift. Every roll of film, every photo print, fed a system so vast that it shaped daily life. Schools, hospitals, and even local sports teams bore the Kodak name. The scale was staggering. By 1962, United States sales crossed $1 billion, and by 1981, global revenue hit $10 billion. For decades, the hum of the factory floor and the steady rhythm of paychecks seemed as permanent as the city's skyline. Kodak wasn't just an employer, it was the backbone of Rochester's identity. Kodak's real engine was not the camera, but the film inside it. Every snapshot, whether a family vacation or a birthday, meant another roll sold, another trip to the drugstore, another print ordered. By the mid-20th century, film sales delivered between 70 and 90% of Kodak's profits. The launch of Kodachrome in 1935 put vivid color into the hands of amateurs, but it also locked them into Kodak's processing labs, where proprietary chemistry and color standards guaranteed quality and high margins. The Instamatic camera, introduced in 1963, was designed for simplicity, but it also drove consumption, with over 50 million units sold by 1970, each one fueling a steady churn of film and prints. Kodak's grip on color science set the standard for every print and broadcast in the country. Protecting film margins wasn't just a business preference, it was the logic that shaped every executive decision. The more people photographed, the more Kodak earned, and the company's future seemed boundless as long as film remained the heart of the process. In December 1975, a young Kodak engineer named Stephen Sasson carried a black box into a conference room. Inside was a homemade camera that captured images not on film, but as digital data, a grainy black and white photo of 0.01 megapixels stored on a cassette tape. The device weighed nearly 9 pounds and took over 20 seconds to record a single image. Sasson demonstrated the prototype to a group of executives, describing a future where pictures would need no film, no chemical processing, just pixels and memory. The response was swift and uneasy. Managers questioned the quality. They worried about what would happen to Kodak's lucrative film business. One executive told Sasson, "That's cute, but don't tell anyone about it." The project was shelved, its threat to the company's core profits too clear to ignore. If you value deep research and stories like these, subscribing helps make future episodes possible. The Elm Grove plant stretched across 600 acres, one of the largest industrial sites in the world dedicated to photography. Inside, production lines ran nonstop, churning out film and chemicals by the ton, all calibrated for a market that seemed permanent. But as the 1980s ended, cracks appeared beneath the surface. Internal forecasts warned that film demand would drop sharply by the early 2000s, yet the company's physical footprint made rapid change nearly impossible. Every decision carried the weight of thousands of jobs and billions in sunk costs. In 1993, Kodak spun off Eastman Chemical, slicing away a pillar of its vertical integration in an effort to streamline. Restructuring plans circulated through executive suites, but the size of the operation resisted quick pivots. Leadership faced a dilemma: protect the legacy business or risk everything on an uncertain digital future. The machinery of success had become a drag on adaptation. Fuji stunned Kodak by seizing the official film sponsorship of the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, flooding the United States market with cheaper film and breaking a decades-old price ceiling. As Kodak hesitated, new rivals moved quickly. In 1994, Apple released the QuickTake, one of the first consumer digital cameras, built with Kodak's technology but branded by a company with no stake in film. Canon's Digital Rebel arrived in 2003, putting digital SLR photography within reach of the mass market. By 2007, Smartphones began turning cameras into software features, not standalone devices. Photography's center of gravity shifted to companies that understood code, not chemistry. Kodak's last profitable years came from selling off its patents, bringing in $2 billion between 2008 and 2011, but the windfall was a stopgap. In 2009, the company cut 4,500 jobs and ended Kodachrome after 74 years. Families who had relied on Kodak for generations faced sudden uncertainty. By 2012, bankruptcy filings made official what Rochester already knew: the empire was gone. Today, entire industries can vanish while their technology lives on in new forms. Kodak's silence isn't history, it is a warning. Even empires with vision can fail to see themselves clearly.